The UAPA's draconian provision exists in its bail law, by which it's almost impossible to be able to get bail. We might as well say that anybody arrested under UAPA will not get bail, because in reality, nobody gets bail. In an answer given by the Home Minister to Parliament a couple of months back, the statistics are very revealing that there has been a steady increase in the number of people from 999 people arrested under UAPA in 2016, going up to 1,554 in 2017 and 1,431 in 2018. The conviction rate is less than 25%. And even this conviction rate is a make-believe rate, because the actual figures are much, much lower. You also have in the situation that in almost 43% of the cases, charge sheets have taken more than a year or more than 2 years to be filed. And the figure goes on like this. So anybody who is now implicated under UAPA can as well forget that they will get bail until the trial is over. And the trial is going to be over 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. The imprisonment itself is a punishment that is given to them, even though in most of the cases, they are acquitted at the end.
In January 2020, okay, for reasons which are too obvious to be stated, the NIA took over the investigation from the Pune police. And in April 2020, Gautam Navlakha and Anand Teltumbde were arrested. Subsequent to that, till now, during the lockdown period, 5 more persons have been arrested. One was Heni Babu, who's from Delhi. 3 persons from the Kabir Kala Manch and the related Elgar Parishad issues. Sagar, Ramesh and Jyoti, and Father Stan Swami, who was the last person to be arrested in this hold down. And while filing the charge sheet, the prosecution has said that we are still continuing the investigation. So 3 charge sheets are already filed. Maybe there will be a 4th one, maybe there will be a 5th one, maybe there will be a 6th one. We don't know how many. The point is that till the charge sheets are filed, till all the charge sheets as NIA deems fit are filed, okay, trial will not begin. Okay, people will not get bail. Okay, people are not even getting bail on health grounds. Look at Stan Swami, for instance. Stan Swami has been is an 84-year-old man, okay, who never tried to abscond, there is not even an allegation that he tampered with any evidence. He participated in the interrogation, okay, completely. There is no allegation that he was not cooperating during the interrogation. Even then, they arrest the man, and all 16 are acquitted. And UAPA, till it is on law books, okay, will always lead to this kind of situation. It's not just about these 16 people, but it's about everybody else. And so I think the demand has to be made that UAPA has to be repealed, lock, stock and barrel. There is no dilution here which will help us. Thank you very much.
There's no doubt that the UAPA has been grossly misused, continues to be grossly misused. And the arrest of Father Stanley, along with Varwar Rao, both octogenarians, and the other 16, except for a few of them, all of them are above 60 and are prone to be more vulnerable to the COVID virus. Even then, there's been absolutely no human approach at all by this government and the authorities, and they continue to languish. There's no question, therefore, the UAPA this way cannot exist. And I would appeal to all the political parties here and to the civil society movement that do not see this only as an isolated, a single law issue. Yes, you have the UAPA, you have the NSA, you have the Sedition Act, a Sedition Act which my party, the CPIM, has been saying from day one that this is anachronistic. This is part of the British rule, part of the crown that had to be protected. Now that should be removed from our statute books. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And now this government has appointed another committee to further strengthen who all can be covered under the Sedition Act. Now, the point at issue in all these acts is, all these draconian laws is, that any dissent of this government is not tolerable for the government. And therefore, anybody who expresses dissent is anti-national. Now, this is something that is an anathema to democracy, to civil liberties, to human rights, apart from democratic rights, and therefore they should go. All of us, and many of my colleagues present here from the other political parties, we were all together when we repealed the POTA, Prevention of Terrorism Act, and when we were opposing it in Parliament, the then BJP government had to call a joint session of the Parliament in order to enact it. But one of the first things that was done when that government was removed and the UAPA government and the UPA government came was the repeal of POTA. Now, after Bombay terror attack, this UAPA came, and then I remember in the Parliament there was a big hue and cry between us and then Home Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, on the safeguards to be applied so that it can't be misused. Some safeguards came, we were not satisfied, but even those have been removed by this government. So it's not a question of amending the law anymore. Like the POTA, this must go from the statute books. And for that, my appeal to all the political parties is that in the Parliament which enacted this, it has to be removed from there. And whatever the other measures are required in order to tackle terrorism or in order to tackle international activities, those can be considered, but not these sort of laws that can be grossly misused. So the NSA, the UAPA must be removed from the statute book along with the Sedition Act. And that is what the CPIM would always want, and we are appealing to everybody to join.
I must make it clear, when the UAPA brought to Parliament as draft legislation, my party opposed it. And in fact, I spoke. We continue to oppose UAPA. It is not the question of misuse of UAPA. It is the use of UAPA to target the activists and those who protect or fight for the rights of Dalits, tribal people in this country.
मैं आज इस स्थिति में स्टैन स्वामी को एक प्रतीक समझता हूं और इन लोगों का एक प्रतीक समझता हूं जो यूएपीए जैसे कानूनों से पीड़ित है। और ऐसे कानून बहुत है, केवल यूएपीए की बात नहीं है। आपका छत्तीसगढ़ स्पेशल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट है, कश्मीर पब्लिक सिक्योरिटी एक्ट है, सेडिशन चार्ज, तरह तरह के काला कानून है। और झारखंड, छत्तीसगढ़, कश्मीर और अब को पूरे देश में हम देख रहे हैं कि इन कानूनों को लेकर दलित, आदिवासी और वंचित समुदाय के लोगों को बार बार माओवादी बोल के जेल भेजा जाता है और उसके बाद सालों तक उसमें वहीं रहते हैं, जबकि कोई सीरियस चार्ज या सबूत भी उनके खिलाफ नहीं है, तब भी सालों तक उनको जेल में रहना पड़ता है। और जब ट्रायल आता है तो कई बार उनको छोड़ना है क्योंकि कोई सबूत नहीं, लेकिन तब तक उनका पूरा जीवन बर्बाद हो गया। परिवार बेल बकरी बेच दिया उनका बेल कराने के लिए, उनका नाम बदनाम हो गया। तो बहुत बड़ा अन्याय है और केवल कुछ ही डिसेंसर्स और इंटेलेक्चुअल्स की बात नहीं है, लेकिन हजारों लोगों की बात है जो इन कानूनों से पीड़ित है।
Go to the next question, which has come from Saraswati Das Gupta from the Print to all political leaders. What are the concrete steps that opposition parties are planning to take to demand repeal of UAPA?
The point is that, as I told you, the discussions are on, and what is the roadmap? If you work out, that will soon be made public and will be announced once the political parties come to a certain agreement on how to proceed on this. It's not a question of any dispute over the agenda. The question is, how are we going to practically proceed on it pragmatically? And that is something that we are all under discussion, because you see, I mean, there are many other issues that are also as important today. That is the point. I mean, this crowding of the agenda that this government is doing deliberately. So, and that it is a very common tactic of a totalitarian regime, that you crowd in the agenda for the people so that some section will pick up one issue, some section will pick up another issue. Everybody is dissatisfied, but then it doesn't coalesce into some sort of a unified movement. Now, that is what we have to battle, and we are battling. And now, I mean, we are working out the concrete methods of how we can move forward on this. But remember, it takes a long time to undo something that has been legislated according to our constitutional procedures. It took us a long time to do that with the quota, and we finally repealed it. Now, I mean, that's a process that we'll have to take it forward.